Welcome back, everybody. Today, we're going deep on something kind of disturbing, actually.
Oh.
Yeah, fraudulent law firms.
Oh, wow.
You know those groups posing as legal professionals,
Right.
taking advantage of people who just need legal help?
Yeah,
Our goal today is to equip you with the knowledge you need to spot those scams
I like it.
and protect yourself from becoming a victim.
Important stuff.
And get this. One of our sources revealed a shocking statistic.
Okay.
Nearly 70% of consumers have been targeted by some kind of fraud
Wow.
involving a collection agency.
Yeah, that's a lot.
That's a huge number.
Yeah.
So let's unpack this a little.
Yeah, that's a sobering figure for sure.
Right.
It really highlights how widespread these scams are.
Yeah.
What's really concerning to me is how these fraudulent firms exploit
Yeah.
that trust we all have in the legal system. You know,
Right.
they understand that
Yeah.
people facing legal issues are often stressed,
Of course.
confused,
Makes sense.
looking for solutions.
Yeah.
Makes them very vulnerable.
Yeah, it's like they're intentionally targeting people when they're already down.
Yeah.
So what are some of the telltale signs that a law firm might not be legitimate? Our sources pointed to unverifiable credentials
Yeah.
as a big warning sign.
Yeah, that's a big one.
Right.
They might brag about having experienced attorneys and impressive legal teams, but when you start digging a little deeper, things start to fall apart.
Yeah.
A simple check on lawyer databases like Avo
Right.
or Martindale-Hubbell,
Yeah.
or even just looking them up in their state's bar directory,
Okay.
can be incredibly revealing.
Oh, wow.
If you can't find a lawyer,
Hmm.
or the firm's details are inconsistent,
Yeah.
that's a major red flag.
So it's kind of like doing a background check
Yeah.
on the firm itself.
Exactly. It's a basic step,
Right.
but it can save you a lot of trouble down the line.
I bet.
Another thing is a lack of transparency.
Hmm.
Legitimate law firms are upfront about their fees,
That's
serious, and how they handle cases. Fraudulent firms tend to be vague and evasive when you start asking specific questions.
Like they're trying to hide something?
Exactly.
Our sources also highlighted a case that really caught my attention.
Okay.
Apparently, there was this supposed law firm that was representing a real estate development project.
Okay.
They took deposits from investors with the promise of holding the money in escrow
Right.
until the project was complete.
Uh-huh.
You would think that would be safe, right?
Well, you would think.
Yeah.
That's a tactic that is often used to create this illusion of legitimacy.
Okay.
The term escrow
Right.
refers to a legal arrangement where a neutral third party holds the funds
Right.
or assets until certain conditions are met.
Okay.
But in this case, the development never materialized.
Oh, wow.
And when the investors tried to recover their money,
Yeah.
it turned out both the lawyer and the developer had disappeared.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
That's a devastating situation.
Totally.
And speaking of deceptive tactics,
Yeah.
our sources also mention
Uh-huh.
these incredibly enticing traps that fraudulent firms use to lure in victims, like too good to be true promises and
Yeah.
aggressive sales techniques.
It's the psychology behind that is so fascinating.
Oh, really?
Yeah, these scammers prey on that inherent desire we all have
Yeah.
for easy solutions and quick fixes.
Right.
They'll dangle a huge payout or a guaranteed win in court,
Oh, yeah.
knowing that people in distress
Right.
are more likely to cling to that glimmer of hope.
It's almost as if they're exploiting people's vulnerability.
Totally.
One of those sources described a personal injury scam where the injuries were actually staged,
Oh, my God.
which is just shocking to me.
How far will they go?
Yeah, how far will they go to pull off these scams?
It just shows how elaborate
Yeah.
and calculated these schemes can be.
Right.
And sadly,
Yeah.
personal injury scams are just one of many.
So let's take a closer look at the types of scams out there.
Okay.
Our sources outline several, including debt relief,
Uh-huh.
personal injury,
Right.
immigration,
Yes.
real estate and foreclosure,
Uh-huh.
and even tax scams.
Each type targets a specific vulnerability.
Okay.
Let's take debt relief scams.
Okay.
They prey on individuals struggling financially,
Right.
offering what appears to be an effortless way out of debt.
Gotcha.
They might propose negotiating with creditors
Uh-huh.
or consolidating debt into a single manageable payment.
Right.
However, these promises often fall flat.
Oh, no.
leaving victims in a worse financial situation
No, that's awful.
than before.
That sounds incredibly disheartening.
Yeah.
Speaking of exploiting vulnerability,
Yeah.
immigration scams.
Ugh, it's the
You
worst.
take this to a whole new level.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
They exploit the aspirations of individuals
Right.
hoping for a better life,
Yeah.
frequently charging exorbitant fees for services they never deliver.
Wow.
One of our sources described a particularly heartbreaking case
Wow.
where a fraudulent firm promised to expedite a visa application,
Wow.
but vanished after receiving a substantial upfront payment.
Oh, no.
The victim not only lost their money, but also faced potential legal repercussions because of that unfinished paperwork.
That is just awful.
Yeah.
It's appalling how these firms prey on people's hopes and dreams.
Oh,
So with all these scams running rampant,
right.
what are some steps we can take to protect ourselves?
Well, the key is to be informed and proactive,
Okay.
as we mentioned before.
Uh-huh.
Verifying credentials is crucial.
Right.
Don't take their word for it.
Yeah.
Look them up
Uh-huh.
on reputable legal databases and state bar websites.
And with so much information readily available online,
Right.
how can we use it effectively to research a law firm?
That's a great question. You want to look beyond just their website.
Okay.
Check online reviews
All right.
on sites like Yelp
Right.
or Google reviews.
Okay.
See if they have any complaints filed against them. With the Better Business Bureau or your local bar association,
Gotcha.
these resources can give you a much better sense of their reputation.
So thorough research is key.
Yes.
And of course, we can't forget the importance of getting everything in writing.
Absolutely. Never rely on verbal agreements or handshake deals
Right.
before you agree to anything.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure you have a clear written contract
Yeah.
outlining everything, their services,
Okay.
their fees,
Right.
all the terms of your agreement.
That seems like a basic step.
It is.
But it's easy to overlook, I think, in the heat of the moment.
And remember, if something feels wrong, it probably is.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to ask questions.
Okay.
Get a second opinion from a trusted legal professional.
Good idea.
Or walk away if you feel pressured or uncomfortable.
Right.
Trusting your instincts
Yeah.
is so important in these situations.
That's such valuable advice.
It really is.
It's a shame that these fraudulent firms operate with such impunity.
It is.
But by being informed and proactive,
Yep.
we can significantly reduce the risk of becoming a victim.
I think so.
What are some other ways these firms try to blend in and appear legitimate?
That's interesting. They often mimic the language and tactics
Oh.
of authentic legal practices.
Mhm.
They use legal jargon.
Right.
They build professional-looking websites
Makes sense.
and send official-sounding letters or emails.
Oh, wow.
They want to create that impression
Okay.
that they're part of the established legal community.
It's almost as if they're trying to disappear in plain sight.
Yeah.
What else should we watch out for?
Well, one thing that frequently stands out is their lack of transparency,
Right.
as we've discussed.
Uh-huh.
But it goes beyond just being vague about their fees.
Okay.
They might avoid giving straightforward answers
Right.
to your questions about their experience,
Okay.
their success rate,
Hmm.
or their approach to your specific case.
So if they're being evasive,
Yeah,
that's a warning sign.
absolutely. They might try to distract you with impressive-sounding claims
Right.
or pressure you into a quick decision
Oh, wow.
before you have all the information.
Gotcha.
Another tactic to watch out for is high-pressure sales tactics.
Yeah.
Authentic law firms don't need to resort to
Right.
fear tactics or emotional manipulation
Okay.
to secure clients.
So if you feel like you're being pushed into something, or if you're getting a strong limited time offer vibe,
Right.
that's another reason to be wary.
Exactly. Legitimate law firms understand that the legal process is complex
Right.
and outcomes are rarely guaranteed.
Of course.
They'll be honest about the potential challenges and risks involved in your case.
It seems like our sources are really emphasizing the importance of
Yeah.
trusting your gut
Right.
and seeking a second opinion when in doubt.
They are, and for good reason.
Yeah.
It's always better to be safe than sorry
Right.
when it comes to legal matters.
Yeah.
If something doesn't feel right,
Right.
don't ignore that feeling.
Okay.
Reach out to another legal professional
Good idea.
or seek advice from a trusted source.
That's great advice. It's alarming how sophisticated these scams have become,
It is.
making it even harder to differentiate them from legitimate firms.
Right.
But as we've learned, knowledge is our strongest defense.
Absolutely.
And remember, the vast majority of lawyers and law firms
Right.
are ethical and dedicated to upholding the law and serving their clients.
For sure.
Don't let the actions of a few bad actors prevent you from seeking legal help when you need it.
Such a good point. Don't let fear prevent you from seeking justice.
Yeah.
Just be informed.
Okay.
Be vigilant.
Right.
And be proactive in protecting your rights.
What other insights can you share about navigating this complex world of fraudulent law firms?
Well, one of the most effective ways I think these fraudulent firms hook their victims is by exploiting our desire for quick results.
Oh, yeah.
They promise the impossible, like guaranteed wins,
Right.
massive settlements,
Makes sense.
or debt elimination overnight.
It's like those too good to be true weight loss ads.
Exactly.
Promising you'll drop pounds effortlessly.
Right.
You know, there's a catch.
Yeah, legitimate legal processes take time and careful consideration.
Right.
If a firm is boasting unrealistic outcomes or pressuring you to make a hasty decision,
Right.
that's a huge red flag.
So being wary of those quick fix promises is crucial.
Absolutely.
Are there specific red flags related to fees that we should be aware of?
Definitely be cautious of firms demanding large upfront payments without a clear breakdown of services.
Yeah.
Authentic firms usually operate on a retainer basis.
Right.
Or bill hourly,
Okay.
providing detailed invoices.
So if they're being vague about costs
Yeah.
or their fees seem disproportionate,
Right.
that's a sign to proceed cautiously.
Precisely. It's about transparency and fairness.
Right.
Legitimate firms want you to understand their billing practices.
Now that we've explored the warning signs,
Yeah.
let's shift gears and talk about specific types of scams.
Okay.
Our sources highlighted. We touched on debt relief and immigration scams earlier.
Right.
But what about personal injury scams?
Yeah.
Those seem particularly prevalent.
They are, and they often prey on individuals who've recently been in accidents.
Right.
The scam might involve someone encouraging you to file a claim for an injury
Right.
you didn't actually sustain,
Wow.
or exaggerating the extent of your injuries
Okay.
to inflate the potential settlement.
It's appalling how they capitalize on people's misfortunes.
I know.
Are there specific tactics used in personal injury scams that we should watch out for?
One common tactic is the use of runners or cappers. These individuals, often posing as concerned bystanders,
Okay.
might approach accident victims at the scene,
Oh, wow.
pressuring them to sign up with a particular lawyer
Gotcha.
or a medical professional.
So it's crucial to be wary of unsolicited advice
Yes,
or pressure from strangers, especially after an accident.
exactly.
What about scams related to real estate and foreclosure?
Mm-hmm.
Those seem particularly devastating,
They are,
given what's at stake.
and they often target homeowners who are struggling financially
Right.
or facing foreclosure.
Okay.
The scammers might pose as foreclosure rescue specialists, offering to help homeowners save their homes.
It sounds like they prey on people when they're most vulnerable,
They do.
desperate to hold on to their homes.
Exactly. These scammers might propose negotiating with lenders
Okay.
or refinancing the mortgage. But their true intention is often to steal the homeowner's equity
Wow.
or even take ownership of the property.
That's heartbreaking. Are there specific warning signs
Yes.
that homeowners should be aware of in these situations?
Absolutely. Be suspicious of anyone who guarantees to stop foreclosure or demands an upfront fee for their services.
Okay.
Legitimate housing counselors and legal aid organizations
Right.
typically provide free or low-cost assistance.
So it's crucial to seek help from reputable sources.
Yeah.
And avoid those promising quick fixes
Right.
or demanding substantial upfront payments.
Exactly.
What about tax scams?
Uh-huh.
How do those typically play out?
Tax scams often involve individuals impersonating IRS agents,
Okay.
threatening victims with arrest or legal action.
Wow.
If they don't pay a fabricated tax debt,
Oh, my goodness.
they might use aggressive phone calls,
Right.
emails,
Right.
or even show up at your doorstep.
That sounds terrifying.
It is.
It's a good reminder
Yeah,
that the IRS typically communicates through official mail
right.
and rarely initiates contact through phone calls.
You're right. Legitimate IRS agents will never demand immediate payment over the phone
Okay.
or threaten arrest.
Good to know.
If you're ever unsure about a communication
Yeah.
from someone claiming to be from the IRS,
Uh-huh.
it's best to contact the IRS directly
Right.
to verify their legitimacy.
So far, we've discussed a lot about what to watch out for
Yeah.
and how to identify these scams. But what about proactive steps we can take
Yeah.
to protect ourselves before we even encounter a potentially fraudulent firm?
That's a great point. It's about being proactive and informed.
Okay.
One crucial step is to educate yourself about your legal rights
Right.
and the legal processes relevant to your situation.
Makes sense.
Knowledge is power in these cases.
That makes sense. The more you understand about the process, the less likely you are to be fooled by deceptive tactics.
Right.
Where can people go to access reliable legal information and resources?
There are some excellent resources available. Reputable legal websites like FanLaw or NOLO provide comprehensive information on various legal topics.
Okay.
You can also find helpful resources through your state's bar association
Gotcha.
or legal aid organizations.
So it's about empowering yourself with knowledge
Yes.
and seeking information from trusted sources.
Exactly.
What about referrals? Are those a good way to find a legitimate lawyer or firm?
Referrals can be incredibly valuable if you have friends, family members, or colleagues who've had positive experiences with lawyers or firms.
Right.
Don't hesitate to ask for recommendations.
Word of mouth can be a powerful tool.
Absolutely.
Especially when dealing with something as crucial as legal representation.
Yeah.
Is there anything else people can do to minimize their risk of encountering these fraudulent firms?
One thing that often gets overlooked is maintaining good financial hygiene.
Oh, okay.
Stay organized with your financial records.
Right.
Regularly check your credit reports.
Uh-huh.
And be cautious about sharing personal information online or over the phone.
That's a great reminder. The more vigilant we are about protecting our information,
Yes.
the less likely we are to become targets.
Exactly.
And remember, while it's essential to be cautious, don't let fear prevent you from seeking legal help when you need it.
Such an important point.
Yeah.
The vast majority of lawyers are ethical professionals.
Right.
Dedicated to serving their clients.
That's an important point to emphasize.
Yeah.
We've uncovered some pretty unsettling tactics used by these fraudulent firms.
Yeah.
But it's crucial to remember that they don't represent the legal profession as a whole.
Exactly. There are many dedicated and ethical lawyers out there who are committed to upholding the law and helping their clients navigate challenging situations.
Right.
Don't let the actions of a few bad actors deter you from seeking the legal assistance you deserve.
So while vigilance and awareness are crucial, so is maintaining faith in the legal system and those who work within it ethically and responsibly.
You've hit the nail on the head. It's about finding that balance between being informed and cautious without letting fear paralyze us.
As we wrap up this part of our deep dive, it's clear that knowledge is our strongest defense against these fraudulent law firms.
I agree.
But I'm curious, are there any larger systemic changes you think could be implemented to further protect people from these scams?
Well, that's a great question. It seems like tackling this problem requires a multi-pronged approach.
Right. What systemic changes could help minimize the prevalence of these fraudulent firms?
Well, you're right. It goes beyond just individual awareness. Strengthening regulations for the legal profession. And increasing enforcement against these fraudulent firms. Could really help.
Okay, so holding these firms accountable for their deceptive practices is crucial.
I think so.
What role do you think technology could play in combating these scams?
Oh, technology could be a game changer.
Really?
Yeah. Imagine a centralized, easily accessible database of verified legal professionals and firms.
That makes sense.
This would allow people to quickly confirm credentials before engaging with any legal services.
That would be an invaluable resource. Providing a layer of protection for those seeking legal help.
Totally.
What about empowering individuals to report suspected scams?
Oh, that's another critical piece.
Okay.
A streamlined reporting process. Maybe through a dedicated online platform or hotline.
Gotcha.
Could really enable swift action against these fraudulent operations.
It seems like collective action is essential in tackling this issue.
It is.
What role can the public play in advocating for stronger protections?
Well, public awareness campaigns could be incredibly effective.
How so?
Educating individuals about common scams, red flags, and available resources that can empower people to protect themselves and spread the word in their communities.
So it's about creating a culture of informed vigilance.
Absolutely.
What about the role of legal aid organizations and consumer protection agencies?
They play a crucial role in providing support and legal recourse for victims of these scams. Okay. Increasing funding and expanding their reach would be incredibly beneficial.
It's about ensuring that those who've been taken advantage of have access to the help they need.
Exactly.
What are some final thoughts you'd like to leave our listeners with?
Well, while today's deep dive has exposed some unsettling truths about fraudulent law firms, remember that knowledge is our strongest weapon.
I like that.
By being informed, vigilant, and proactive, we can significantly reduce our risk of becoming victims.
That's good advice.
Don't let fear or uncertainty prevent you from seeking legal assistance when you need it.
Thank you for sharing your expertise and insights on this crucial topic.
My pleasure.
I hope our listeners feel empowered to protect themselves and their loved ones from these scams.
Me too.
Remember, stay informed, stay vigilant, and never hesitate to seek help from reputable legal resources when needed.
Good advice.
Until next time, stay curious.